Hi everybody, it's Deb here with Creative Life. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. I hope you guys are having a great day today. And I'm in Texas, you guys. I'm in North Texas if you are new to my channel. And I'm telling you, it is a little bit warm today. So, did go for my walk earlier today, and yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great day. It's nice out, but it's warm. So anyway, we're here to craft, right? So let's go ahead and get started. And today we're going to be using the mixed media kit along with some of the chipboard pieces and the scrapbook kit for today's project. And you guys are going to love today's project. So at the end of the month, I try to incorporate everything from all three kits. Sometimes I get to use all three kits. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just use what I have. But I usually do a journal page, or a art journal page, I should say. I started this, I think it was in February or March. I'll show you the past ones that we've done. So I did kind of label all of them. I didn't do one for January. I'm going to do one for January, but that will be a little bit later. So this one was for February. This is one that we did using the February kit and mixed media kit, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And some of the beautiful chipboard pieces from Tres Jolie that are in the shop. And this is super gorgeous. I love this one. This was January's, and like I said, I started this in February, so I didn't get to do a January page or a March page. I just had a lot going on that month. And so in April, we did this page, and this was incorporated using, again, some of the mixed media and some of, I think, the scrapbook stuff and I believe the card kit too. So I will link if you're interested, I'll link the videos at the end of this video, so you can check them out. And so today, and then sometimes I'll bring in like past items from other kits that maybe I have leftovers and things like that. So so some of the stuff that you may have, if you get the kits, some of them you may have leftovers, and you can definitely use your leftover stuff to create whatever page you want in your little art journal. Today is May, so we're going to be using this. Now, I did go ahead and place my clear gesso on top of it, and this is the clear gesso that I use. I think I just got this over at Hobby Lobby, but you can get it over at Walmart. You can get them at Michael's or Joann's. I don't think Joann's is in business anymore, but you can get it wherever you get art supplies. Okay, so to start out on our page, we're going to go ahead and we are going to shake up our alcohol pearls. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I am going to use some alcohol. Now this is just regular isopropyl alcohol. And I'm just going to make little spots everywhere. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of dab our little alcohol pearls in the middle here. And I'm just going to go ahead and let them kind of run all over. Now we may need to use a brush, and we may need to add some more here in just a bit. And I may go ahead and also use my heat tool just to kind of blow some things around. I also have this little tool which kind of helps blow some of the ink in areas that I want it to go. So although you have to squeeze it a lot, so yeah, so you have to squeeze it quite a bit to get it to move. And I am a little kind of not liking that because my hands, so I kind of use my heat tool a little bit. So here I turned on my heat gun, and I'm just kind of sharing with you, like, you know, how to kind of go over your paper to let the ink kind of spread over, okay? And then you want to go ahead and shake your inks before you lay them down because they are a pearl ink. So here I decided to go ahead and come in with the yellow, and the yellow is actually the Radiant, and that is just, again, it's an alcohol pearl ink. So you're just going to go ahead and place that down, and then you can place some of the alcohol isopropyl on top of it. Again, I don't have any of the other solution, so you'll just go ahead and use alcohol if you want to do that. Okay, so now I'm bringing in my heat tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and blow this around using the alcohol isopropyl that I put down, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a napkin to catch any excess. And we're going to add a little bit more orange. And we are going to use the burgundy, but I wanted to get this covered. If you don't like the white, you can definitely use your brush. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can grab your brush, and you can definitely just go ahead and brush that on. You want to go ahead and kind of dip it in your alcohol, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little clear right here, dump some of this in here, and this is just my alcohol, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of pat that in, okay, just around the white areas. If you don't want the white areas, you can definitely just pat that in. And so I'm just going to continue brushing, or kind of just patting this down using the alcohol that I have. And you can tell that it's kind of expanding a little bit, and then I'm going to let it run, and I continue just to do this until I get it to where I want it, you know, however you want your page to look. You'll just continue kind of adding in where, if you don't want any white spots, or maybe you have you want some white spots, so you'll just continue doing this, and then I'm just pouring some of this alcohol isopropyl on top, so that way it will run. And when it runs, it will go ahead and cover up some of the white spots that I wanted, and it will go ahead and just kind of have all the ink kind of, you know, make a pattern of however I want it. so you'll just go ahead and keep doing this, and then once we're done, you can go ahead and air dry it or set it aside. Okay. All right, so we've got some of our ink on here. Now, the one thing you can do, if you want to, you can definitely come in with a napkin and blot that. And you'll see that you'll pick up some of the ink, and you will definitely see that your pearl starts shining through a little bit more. And you can see it. And you can also blot around the edges to give a nice design to your area here. Okay, so once again, I'll go ahead and bring in my heat tool, and I am going to go ahead and dry some of the back. The back did get a little bit saturated, but I'm okay with that. You can definitely cover that with some pattern paper, or you can paint over it, whatever you would like to do. Right, so that is a little bit dry. And see how it got on my back page? You don't have to worry about that. If you want to, you can actually cover this with your cardstock or with your pattern paper, whatever you want to do. if you don't want to, you know, have any splotches, or if you want to cover that up, you can do that. So we're going to be using this stencil right here. And we are going to be stenciling. So I'm going to go ahead and stencil here, just kind of across the area here. Now, it may not be all one. I may just do like maybe a little bit here, a little bit here. So we'll see how it goes. But to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our modeling paste, and you're going to grab your alcohol pearl. Okay, and we're going to mix this. Don't forget to shake your alcohol pearl. And I'm just toning down the shaking of the alcohol ink because of that pearl noise, so I hope y'all don't mind. Okay, so now I'm just adding in the pearl ink to the modeling paste, and this color is called Intense. It is really pretty, and it gives us kind of like a mauve color. It's not really a pink, it's more like a mauve, I think, and it's really pretty, and I think it really shows up nicely. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to set this up here. And I like, whoop, and I like that. So I'm going to go ahead, grab some of my, and I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this down. And now you've got a little bit of a decoration there. So now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do this over here. Now you can go ahead and place your stencil however you want. And I'm not sure, you know, whatever stencils you have, just use any of them. And this will give you a nice little background, a little contrast to the background that we created using the Scorch and the Radiant alcohol pearl inks. So, and I'll probably have to make some more of this little paste so I can finish up putting this down, because I do want to do some of this stencil at the bottom. And so there we go. So we're just going to go ahead and continue with this. So here I'm just going to go ahead and mix some more, and I'm just doing the same thing that I did before. Put the modeling paste inside of my little bowl, grab my alcohol ink and put that in there, and as you can see, I got it all over my hands. So the lid was not on right when I shook it, so it got everywhere. So now I cleaned my hands, came back and mixed this up, and now we're going to put the rest of this on top of the stencil on the paper. And yeah, so I just think this turned out so good. I hope you all like it. If you want, I don't know, now I liked the pink or the mauve color that I was getting. So if you want darker, you can try to make this darker by adding a little bit more of your alcohol ink to the paste, and see if that makes it darker. So if you do want it darker, you can definitely do that. And now we're done. Next, I'm bringing in my heat tool, and I'm just going to kind of help it dry a little bit. I don't want to get it too close to this, because what will happen is if you get too close to your modeling paste, it'll start bubbling, okay? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some chipboard pieces. So the chipboard pieces that I went ahead and picked out are these four right here. Now I did get a little bit stuff on here. I'm not worried about it, y'all. Okay, so what we're going to do is for this one, we're going to go ahead and we are going to paint this. And I think, or not paint it, but we're going to go ahead and use our alcohol pearls to kind of just do the lettering on here. And I'm going to grab my little sheet here. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and concentrate on this for a little bit while this kind of dries a little bit more. Even though we use the dryer on it, it probably just needs a little bit time to kind of regroup. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to do this. I'm going to grab a little paintbrush. Alrighty. Okay, so I've got two little paintbrushes and I've got this. Now this one is the one I want to use. So I think this will be a good color. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little piece and I'm just going to brush this on here. Okay, and I'm just going around the edges here. If you want, you can definitely go ahead and just squeeze like a little bit on there. You don't need, a little bit goes a long way, y'all. A little bit goes a very long way. And you can already see that it's, you know, kind of getting that pearl look to it. And I'm just going around the edges here. So I hope that y'all are finding inspiration from my project today. And like I said before, I've been trying to do a page every month, just using some of the odds and ends from all of the kits. And there you go. So now we've got this piece. Okay, and we've got these two pieces. I'm going to go ahead and do these, but I'm not sure if I'll use them or not, just because I'm kind of, I don't know what it'll look like, so with the background and all. So we're just gonna see how they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint these up. Again, and you can actually make these if you want. You can do them a little darker if you want. You can do them, you know, a little however you want. Now, if you wanted to, you could just use regular paint, or you can even use a marker and color these chipboard pieces up. You don't have to use the alcohol inks if you don't want to. So here I'm just getting into the little areas here, and I'm just going to go ahead and brush those out. And this really just soaks right into the chipboard, so you don't have to really worry about it too much. It just soaks it right in. So just like that. And you can really see the pearl on those. So we're going to set those aside. Next, we're going to be doing this. And for this, we're going to be, again, using some of this one. And then I'm going to actually be using some of the green ink, just a regular green ink, to color my leaves and stuff. Or you can use your gelatos if you want to do that. So here I'm just laying down the alcohol ink on my mat, and then I'm just picking that up with my paintbrush. And then once I'm done painting all of the roses, I grab my, I think it's called Bamboo. It's a green color by Memento, and I'm just coloring that with my little brush there on the leaves and just around the little area. Now I have to say, I did this same one on a card and it looked so good. Okay, so for this, I was going to do like a gray type leaf like I did with my card. Let's see here. If you didn't see the card I did with the leaf, let me grab that. Oh, here it is. Here's the card that I did with the leaf, and here I used a little bit of green and then gray on that leaf, and I think it turned out so pretty. So But I think with the leaf, I'm going to go ahead and just use some of this. So we're going to use a little bit of yellow, maybe a little bit of the, and this is Radiant, and this one is called Scorch. So I think we're going to use these two together. Let's see what we come up with. I'm not sure how this is going to look, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But we'll check it out and see how it goes, okay? So we'll just see how this kind of goes. So I'm just kind of actually coloring this on top of the leaf here, and just kind of, and I'm not even squeezing the bottle. It's just kind of dripping out. So you don't have to squeeze really hard to get some of this out, okay? So just wanted to let you know. So next I'm going to try this. See how this looks in between. I don't know how that's going to look. And you can definitely just color this in if you want. Whoop. Now see how it's just absorbing that. It's just really it's just absorbing it right into the area where I'm putting it. So you could definitely blend these together, and that's kind of where I think I'm headed with this. I think I'm just going to kind of blend it in and just kind of let it do its thing. So we have a little bit of the yellow, and we've got a little bit of this Scorch that is just kind of blending into there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and color the whole thing with this yellow. I was coloring in between different areas, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and color this in, right? And then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to, because this just totally gets absorbed into the chipboard, it just kind of adds a really nice little accent. Okay, and then I think, oh my goodness, wow, I must have, oh my goodness, you guys, I am like so messy. I'm telling you, when I play with my mixed media stuff, it's all over the place. So it gets all over the place. So if you have something like this that happens, I don't know about your desk. My desk is a, it's, I don't want to say laminate, or it may be, so yes, my desk is laminate. I went and asked my husband. If you have something like this happen and it's not wood, your desk isn't wood, or you have, you want to get these little marks out of your desk, you can use your alcohol. Now, make sure that your desk can withstand the solution, because if it does, I don't want to like ruin your desk. Okay, my desk is an old nurse hospital station desk, and so it basically can withstand anything. Like literally, y'all, I've done glue on here, paint. I've spilled, you know, this alcohol pearl stuff on it, and usually it is really hard to come out of your stuff. But for some, you know, my desk is like hardcore, you guys. So I'm able to really clean it. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't, I decided I wasn't going to wallpaper my desk, because at one point I was going to try to actually wallpaper my desk to, you know, make it look a little bit more pretty. You know, I was going to get white wallpaper and paper it, but I decided not to do that, because once you do that, it really ruins the top of your desk. If you want to replace that, you know, you kind of have to replace the whole thing, and I didn't want to have to do that. So that is why I decided not to do that. So I just left it green and with the original top on here. So yeah, so that's why it's always green, and I probably will never change it, just because I love this desk. It's so hardcore. It just takes a beating and keeps on going. So for the stem, I use my Bic markers. You can use whatever you want. You can use green on here if you want to. You can use whatever color you want. I am going to go with brown, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with brown, because I don't know where, I don't have an olive green color, which would look really pretty on here, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with brown. And you're just going to go ahead and color it in. So you can use your marker, whatever you want to use. You know, it doesn't matter. You can use paint. And look, when you use your marker, I just wanted to show you real quick. When you use your marker on top of the pearlescence, it kind of changes the color of that marker. It's really pretty. It makes it pearlescent color. So I'm going to show you here in just a second. See right here, I had some pearlescent right there, and I just went over it with my marker, and it kind of dragged it down and it really lightened that up here. You can see a little bit here and here. So it's really, really pretty. I love how this looks. I hope you guys are liking this. I really love this. So if you have the mixed media kit, you could definitely do this. Okay. So yeah, so I'm super excited. Love how this turned out. I'm really excited. Okay. So we have this piece left. And then the other thing I wanted to do is, these are some of our art stones. And y'all, I was going to use some of these. I just think that they're super cool. And I wanted to go ahead and, let me bring down my bowl again. I wanted to go ahead and pour some in a bowl. So I'm not sure how much I need. And I don't even know if this is going to work, you guys. I just kind of had a thought in my mind, and we'll check it out, see if it works. So I have some of these, and I thought it would be really cool to put some of the alcohol ink on here. So I think I'll do this color. Now I know I've been going with this color a lot. I just love this color. So I just love the richness of it. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to spread this around on here, all over. Okay, and I'm going to grab my little brush, and I'm just going to kind of mix these all together, so all of them kind of get mixed with this ink. And it is turning them, you guys. Now how they'll dry, I do not know. Okay, so they may dry in clumps, they may not. I don't know. So we'll see. So I'm really excited to see how these turn out. So so there we go. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start doing our tag. Now for the tag, I thought we would cover it with some of our scrap pieces of paper. Now, if you were with me and you did the cards and stuff like that, you probably have some scraps that were laying around. So I thought, we'll just use some of these and see how they work on here. I may just piece some things together. I don't know. Let's see here. And I'm trying to get something that's kind of going to go with everything. Okay, so I just kind of grabbed some odds and ends, scraps basically, from my leftovers where I cut, and I decided to go ahead and use those to cover the front of my tag. And now we're going to look at the finished. Now this is what it looks like when it's all finished, and I just pieced things together. So next I went ahead and used one of the chipboard butterflies. Now these butterflies you can find in the shop, and they are so awesome, you guys. I love these butterflies. Now we've used these butterflies before on a few other projects, and we used gelatos on them, and we've painted them, and now I'm just adding the alcohol ink on top of them. I did not prep my chipboard piece, so it does not have gesso on it or anything, and I just used this, I believe it's the Scorch, is what I used. It's either the Scorch or the Radiant. I can't remember which one. But all three of them come in, or all two. There's 3 alcohol inks altogether, and so I used one of them that looks like a gold color, and it is so pretty, you all. And so you're just going to go ahead and place that on there, and I'm basically just kind of dabbing the ink on there and letting it run. Next, I went ahead and just colored this brown with my little marker. And y'all, it's nice to use these alcohol inks because they are fast drying, so you don't have to worry about having to wait too long. Okay, so now we can start putting our little book together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of frames from the Scrapbook Kit. And I chose this frame here, which is super pretty. And then I chose, let's see here, I chose a different frame too. Which one was it? I think it was this one, because this one matches that one. So, or sort of matches. so I chose this one. So we're going to put those two together. So, and then we're going to lay this guy here. So here I put the tag on that left-hand side, and I'm just trying to get an idea of what I want to do. And I went ahead and placed the back ends on top of the today word, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down to the top of the tag. And I just went ahead and placed glue all along the back there so everything sticks together. Okay. So that's going to lay on top of here like that. And I want it up so I could see a little bit of the bottom part here, and then this is going to lay over here like that. We've got this frame here, and then we've got our butterfly. Now this little doodad can go anywhere you want. I thought it would look really pretty on the side here as just a little decoration. You can also lay it here. You can lay it across your frame if you want to do that. Okay, you can definitely do that. You can lay it wherever you want. I personally, I thought it would look super cute just sitting right here. And then, or like that on that side, whatever side you want. I just thought that this was super pretty. And then too, you can go ahead and journal on this right here. So that's why I was saying you can do whatever you would like on here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use my glue. Actually, I'm going to use my glue and just kind of put this down like this. And then I'm going to lay this on top, just like that. The glue will dry clear, so I'm not too worried about it. And then you could journal anything today, you know, for today. And then here, you could do two things. Either one, we have these little scraps from our cards that we made. And so I thought these would look really pretty, you know, something like that. If you want to do that, I just thought that those looked really pretty like that. And then you can use your flat little flowers. I don't know what is going on with my flowers. They just fell apart. I don't know why. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to clip out this section here. This. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this right here. So I am going to glue this, but I'm not going to glue, I'm going to glue the whole thing down. So we're going to go ahead and just place some glue right on the edges. And we're just about done, you guys. I'm super excited. We got another page done for our little journal, our little art journal, our monthly art journal that we're doing with Tres Jolie's stuff, little kits and things. So yeah, so I think that this turned out super good. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this away. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the back. No one's going to see it but you. And you can either lay it like this. I just thought it looked super pretty like that. Or you can lay it like this. And my little flower fell apart. So I don't know why it fell apart, but it did. So I'm just going to lay this down right here on top of there. And I'm just going to grab my glue. Just like that. Okay. And you can also you can also put foam tape on the back of this if you wanted it more. And I'm just going to put it right here, just like that. I'm debating if I want to. I was going to go ahead and add foam tape, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And glue. Okay, so for our next one, now, of course, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can definitely lay these down just by itself so you can see the pretty little background that we did if you want to do that. And I thought that I would go ahead and use this here, okay? And I think I might just cut this part out from like here and around. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this part out and just leave this like this, and then just kind of fit this inside of the frame, kind of like what we did with our card. And I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this out, and then I'll be right back. So now we're going to go ahead and lay everything down, and I am going to go ahead and start with this tag, and we're just going to set it right there. And I'm trying to keep everything within the margins of my mixed media. So that way, kind of like everything, even though I have some white spaces on the edges, I'm still going to try to keep all of my embellishments to the inside. Now here I fussy cut that flower, and I decided to go ahead and put foam tape on the back because I did want to go ahead and raise that up a little bit. And what I did is when I glued down the frame, I went on the outer edge of the frame instead of the inner edge, so that way the glue wouldn't adhere to the bottom. So I can go ahead and place the flower on the inside of the edge of that frame, just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay down this super cute little butterfly, and I couldn't decide where to put it because I knew I wanted to add some words, a sentiment in there, and so I wanted to have some open space so I could put some sentiments inside of here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue down some of my flowers and from the Scrapbook Kit. And here is our little leaf vine, and I couldn't decide where to lay this, so I decided to go ahead and just lay it right behind the flowers and kind of so it would drape over the tag. Next, I decided to go ahead and use a little frame to kind of isolate one of the flowers in the top frame, and you'll see here in a minute. I just kind of place that like right over that little flower, and then we're going to come back in with some glossy accents to kind of really make it stand out. So this booklet is actually from the Mixed Media Kit. This is a sentiment booklet, and it has a lot of words and phrases inside of it. And sadly, the kit is no longer available. It is sold out. So again, this was from the January Mixed Media Kit. So once I chose my phrase on what I wanted to say, I went ahead and cut it in half and kind of just moved my words around the canvas area, and then I stuck some foam tape on the back of these so that they would be raised. So I went ahead and did that to all three of them, and then we'll go ahead and we'll lay these down. And then I like to go ahead and outline them, and I use a little Bic marker for that. So here I'm just using a marker, and on the edges of my words I usually just color them black. I like to do this because it lets your words, your sentiments stand out a little bit, or you can use a different pen too. I just prefer black, but you can use any color you would like. And here's what it looks like after I did everything to this page. Next, I came in with my glossy accents, and I went ahead and placed that inside of the little circle frame just to make that a little focal point for that little flower. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use our little art stones that we put the acrylic ink on, the pearl acrylic ink, and these turned out so pretty, y'all. I love doing this. So I think we did this before, but we actually sprayed some ink on top of it. It was like one of the sprays of ink that we used, and that turned out really good too. So if you have art stones, you can definitely go ahead and turn them different colors, and you can actually keep these in a little bottle or something, so if you need a certain color, you have them available. I thought that was pretty nifty, so yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I hope that you guys give that a try. So here I'm just placing some glue down all over and then just adding them here and there. I added some around my frame, added some around the ivy leaves, and added some up above on the butterfly. I know I'm out of frame, but I'm adding some to the butterfly, and you'll get to see that here in a bit. Okay, so we used our little what do you call it, stones that we have, and we used those all around our area here, and you can definitely add more if you would like. but I think I'm good. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave this how it is. And so thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you liked today's project, and leave me a thumbs up. I will have all the links down below for you. Thanks again for joining me. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and head on over to Tres Jolie to check out their shop. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and join me Friday nights at 4:30 Central Time.